there, and I hope to see you down at Hollywood at the the Florida League of Cities, and encourage you to take the Cities 101 class as well as the EMO classes, just to try and help you in your public service. But any questions at any time, please contact me, or now is fine as well.
Any questions?
I just want to say thank you to Matt, because he serves the chair as a Alachua League of Cities, and he's doing a great job there, and he has been, and he's now on the League of Cities board, and it's truly great having him on there representing North Florida in our small cities there. Thank you, Matt.
And there are a few, just as I remembered about that part with the Florida League of Cities, there's openings right now. They're taking applications if you want to serve on one of their policy committees. It's great to have the input from small towns. There's 410 cities, and the majority of us are small towns, small cities, small villages. So it helps to have the input from us as far as what will happen transportation-wise or environmental-wise, and to be able to take to the state every legislative session. So if you'd like to serve on one of those, it doesn't require a whole bunch of travel. Just normally at the meetings annually, you go to that and you participate in conference calls. So if you're interested in that, it's on the Florida League of Cities website, or you can contact me as well.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you again for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
At this time, we have citizen requests and comments for issues not on the agenda. Please give your name for the record and limit your comments to 5 minutes. Any citizens? All right. Seeing nothing, we'll move on to new business. Okay. Consider awarding management for the High Springs Farmers Market.
Yes, sir. We went out for proposals from individuals to run the farmers market, and we only received one. And that was actually a combination. And I'll turn it over to Jenny, which will better explain the results.
As Mr. Booth had stated, we did go out for bid as requested by the commission for the farmers market management. We did receive one bid, but it was a bid for a co-management for 2 people manage. It is our current manager now, Asti Gonzalez and Carol Rowan, right? And they have proposed to run them and manage the market together. And that was the only bid that we did, proposal that we did receive. So the commission can either go out and request qualifications again to see if there's other interested parties, or they can accept the proposal received.
Okay. Vice Mayor Weller?
Ms. Parham, what papers did we advertise in?
The Alachua County Today.
Alachua County Today for how long?
Just one time.
1 week, I mean?
Any other questions? Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I remember speaking with Hubie about one of the clauses in the old contract as to, and he suggested an amendment to that, and I believe we did make that amendment. So in the future contract, should you award that contract this evening, then we'll drop the new. We'll be directed as legal to drop a new contract, and I can't point to exactly what that amendment was right now in memory, but I know we did clarify as to how the managers would be compensated. So we'll get that done.
Right.
And the contract would have to come back in another meeting.
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
For approval.
That's exactly right.
Okay. Okay, Commissioner, what's your pleasure?
Do we have, I think we have the 2 representatives here.
Mm-hmm.
They'd like to say anything through the commission on that?
Asti Gonzalez.
And Carol Rowan.
I think the last time we were here, we were in a little bit of a who's going to run what. And we've decided to run it together. And the only reason we applied together is because of taxes. We would like two checks, so she can pay her taxes and I can pay my taxes. Mm-hmm. And it will be an honor to run the farmers market for another 2 years. I think that the contract that we read was only for 1 year. It's usually for 2 years. And we would like to see if it can come back to 2 years. That's the diocese wishes.
Contract for us.
I don't think staff has any
Right.
objection to 2 years. It just keeps us from continuing going out and,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it just makes it easy with all the fundraisers, and it takes us a long time to do fundraisers and to do certain things. I just think, but again, it's whatever the diocese wishes.
Okay. I have a problem with that.
There's no issue with having two separate people, right? And cutting two separate checks, there's not an issue
No issue.
procedural? Okay.
There's no problem with issuing two separate checks. It just needs to be solid in the contract that they agree to split equally whatever profits there are. That if there's a main event or that they hold and there's special fees for that, that one doesn't get it over the other, and
Right.
that they agree to work together.
So that would be in the contract, that you would have to
Yes.
put that language in there?
Mhm.
Okay. Any more questions, Ron? Okay. All right, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Anyone from the audience? Questions or comments? Okay. All right, Commissioner, what's your pleasure?
I'll make a motion to, I guess, award the farmers market contract for the farmers market to the two that applied, Ms. Rowan and Ms. Gonzalez, and request that the city attorney draw up a contract specifying that for a 2-year contract.
I'll second it.
Yeah, a motion and a second. Any other discussion or questions? Seeing none, all in favor, come by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, ladies, and I'm so, you just don't know how happy I am to see you guys working together. Thank you all again.
Nice night.
I thank you too. All right, go to show you, if we work together, we can get things done. Okay, moving on to item number 2, consider resolution 2014-F.
Mr. Mayor, this is Resolution 2014-F, a resolution of the City of High Springs, Florida, relating to the provision of fire services, facilities, and programs in the City of High Springs, Florida, establishing the estimated assessment rate for fire services, assessments for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2014, directing the preparation of an assessment roll, authorizing a public hearing, and directing the provision of notice thereof, and providing an effective date. The appropriate motion is to pass Resolution 2014-F as its reading by title only.
You had to read another resolution by title. Any comments or questions?
We pass this, Mr. Mayor, this just puts into process then the actual adoption of the rates and so forth, right?
That's
This is like the
correct.
first step of what we need to
Your
do.
notices will go out, and then you'll have another meeting to establish your rates. The maximum, the rate that is anticipated per the resolution is $83 for residential units, and commercial will be 4 cents per square foot, capped at 40,000 square feet. Industrial warehouse is 1 cent per square foot, again capped at the same amount, and an institutional rate of 7 cents per square foot. And you can go up if you so choose at the future meeting. The maximum amount that you would be able to increase your rates to would be $112 for residential, and then you'd be capped at commercial 5 cents, industrial warehouse 1 cent, and institutional 8 cents. And again, all of those would be capped at 40,000 square feet.
Any other questions? Anyone from the audience? Captain Gillingham, you have anything to add? Okay. Okay, Commissioner Wish.
So what is the appropriate motion? Because it's consider resolution. So what is the
No,
motion?
you're actually approving this resolution
So
at
the
this
consider,
point.
so we guess it. So I'll make a
Right.
motion, we approve resolution 2014-7, F, excuse me.
And I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion?
Let me ask you a question on this one.
Yes, sir.
When is the actual rate voted on? The 83, the 112, whatever? When does that actually come to be?
August 14th,
Yes.
6:30 PM, August 14th, you'll have a meeting on it. The notices will go out on July 20. What you're doing now is you're establishing the notice provision
Right.
to all residents that this is going to be our fire assessment rate. That'll go out on July 24th, and then you'll have your final meeting on August 14th, and that'll actually establish the rate. And like I
Okay.
say, at that time, you can go up or you can stay at the rate that
Okay.
you're anticipating right now.
Mayor,
Jenny?
Yes.
I just wanted to clarify, that is the original resolution with original dates on it that the attorney has read. But since we changed the meeting dates in August,
Oh, good
we
point.
had
Good
to
point.
change those and amend it. So the one that I have for you to sign has the date, it's set for August the 7th, the first meeting in August, and the publication goes out the 17th of July instead of the 24th.
Thank you, Jenny.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Madam Clerk, is this a roll call?
Commissioner Jameson?
Yes.
Commissioner Gestrin? Yes. Vice Mayor Weller?
Yes.
Mayor Williams?
Yes. Okay, motion carries 4-0. All right, moving to item number 3, consider resolution 2014-J.
Mr. Mayor, this is a resolution approving the traffic signal maintenance and compensation agreement, providing for maintenance and operations of intersection control beacons, and providing for payment to the city of High Springs for maintenance and operations of intersection control beacons, repealing all resolutions in conflict, and establishing an effective date. The appropriate motion is to pass resolution 2014-J, as read by title only.
Okay.
This is a standard DOT. We get paid for doing the lights, and I think we turn around and pay Gainesville for actually doing the maintenance, and we make a little bit of money.
Vice Mayor Weller.
It's my understanding in looking at the information that was provided to us that we had actually approved this on May 8th, and that DOT is just requesting that this come back to them in the form of a resolution.
Right.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2014-J as read into the record.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion? Anyone from the audience? Okay, hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Gestrin? Yes. Vice Mayor Weller?
Yes.
Mayor Williams?
Yes.
Commissioner Jameson?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 4-0. All right, moving on to item number 4, consider a memorandum of agreement with the cost share assisting with Swanee River Waterman Management District, a Waterman main replacement grant.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, this is one of the grants that Mr. Fox is writing for us, and it's up there. And apparently, we're on the fast track of getting the water grant under the CDB program. This will provide 25% of our community with new water mains, taking out some of the culvert or the blue lines and all the other stuff that we have, substituting what a water main is. And with this and the conjunction of doing a water study next year, we'll be in a good position to know exactly what we need. We'll already have moved forward on fixing a lot of what we're going to do, because the grant is almost $1 million. And so this is part of it, because it has to do with water. The Swanee River Water Management District is part of that grant now. And so what we're doing is agreeing that we will do some of the engineering, which we've already done.
Okay. Any questions?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Weller?
When I look at in particular the appendix or Exhibit B, of question, I mean, it shows the total cost is $875,000. It says the district reimbursable amount is not to exceed $50,000. And the cooperator, which I understand is us, is going to provide $825,000.
No, we're providing that through the grant.
Okay.
Swanee River is on top of the grant that we got through the CDB grant. Midtower went and obtained 50,000 more from the Swanee River Water Management District.
Okay.
And so that was to add to the project.
Okay, so we're not having, so we have a grant that's going to cover that amount.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's part of the rest of the grant.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I think I remember, I don't know,
Yeah.
that you mentioned the extra 50 when they came in at a meeting, that you mentioned that they were
Yes.
gonna put that in, so
Right.
Sure.
I remember that. I just, when I saw this on here,
we're writing a check.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
like,
we're
you know.
writing a check. Yeah, come out of your salary.
And we've got the grant, right?
Well, we're on the cusp of getting the grant.
Okay.
The way the state is the money is starting to come in with the feds.
Right.
And then they're breaking it out, but they've already inspected us, made sure that we met all the requirements, and so I'm told by them that when they do that, you're pretty well assured, but they don't ever guarantee anything because
Yeah.
it's politics. Money may go to Iraq.
Okay.
So this is something, I mean, if we want to continue with this project, this has to be done.
Well, we can actually do the project without, this is only 50,000. This is just a little
Here, I'll give
extra
it to you.
kicker.
Okay.
Here, are you gonna?
Oh, I thought you were gonna donate 50,000.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll make a motion that we enter an agreement for cost share assistance with Swanee River Manor District for the water replacement grant.
And I'll second, excuse me, I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion or questions? Anyone from the audience? Okay. All in favor of the motion indicating by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Nay.
Okay, motion carries 3-1. Okay, moving on to item number 5. Consider request for a reduction of code enforcement lien.
Yes, sir, we, actually, the lien itself is pretty hefty. It's at $62,000. I'm not sure how it got that high, but it did. And they're asking for a relief of all of it. However, we do have $1,000 or so into it, and I think $1,200 would certainly cover all the expense that we have into it. Even if we took possession of the property, we'll never get $62,000. The building is down. I think the amount was meant to that if the individual didn't take the building down, that we would using the $62,000, but they already did.
It's
So-
cleared. The property's cleared,
The
correct?
property is clear. All we have now is the expense that we have, attorneys and that, which,
Vice Mayor Willer?
You, Mr. Manager, you indicated $1,200, but the information sheet that we received says that we're looking to reduce the fine to $750.
you could do that too. I mean, those are estimates because it was so long ago, I can't
Right.
drag it up. But yeah, 750 would certainly cover.
You will have a little bit of expense in the release of the lien document, which won't take anything for us to prepare, but there will be a cost of recording that. So if you decide to reduce the lien, on record right now, there's a potential lien of the 62,000, and somebody that's researching the records to do title insurance or clarify that is going to need to see something from the city that reduces it back and satisfies that lien. So the process would be that whatever you reduce it to would be, the satisfaction document would be contingent upon getting that money in, and then you would go ahead and record the satisfaction.
Right.
That's how you do it. Now, the reporting documents, you're talking about $20, something in that nature. It's going to be very minimal, but there will be a little bit more expenses associated with that.
The last time we did this, it was 750. That's where the amount came from.
Okay. All right. So is your recommendation 750 or 1,200?
750 will be just fine.
I'll make a motion to reduce the code enforcement lien on the the property located in Gondola Gardens to $750.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion or questions? Anyone?
Just a quick question.
James?
I know we can't calculate how much probably because you got to go back and you got to figure. But like from today forward, Mr. Walker, like from today forward, to finish this thing out to whatever needs to be done, you're saying it's only going to cost us about $20 from this point forward?
This is general work under your contract, so it's not special work.
Okay.
And so it's just, we do this under your retainer amount.
I got it.
So it's nothing extra.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Anyone from the audience? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries 4-0. All right, moving on to the city attorney report and update.
Mr. Mayor, we have met with, and I've been contacted by an attorney that represents the Bacons. This was a matter that was a subject of discussion at the last meeting, and the attorney that's representing the Bacons, Kathy Wright is her name, I believe, and she left a message in my office today that the Bacons had applied for, and my understanding is already received an amended license for their group home that brings them to 6 or fewer residents. And the way the law reads, my reading of it is that if it's 6 or fewer residents, then they do not need a permit. They do not need any kind of special exception or anything of the nature by state statute. They go into residential districts. So they've amended that. I'm going to notify once I receive the confirmation that they have received that licensure from the state, I'm going to notify Mr. Grunder, and that will probably alleviate the need for any hearing. I think we had scheduled that tentatively for the 21st of this month, and at that stage, there's nothing we can do. We can't prohibit it. We can't permit it. It's just is what it is. And I think your manager has established a new process, or a process that accommodates the state statute, and that's where we're at as far as I know. But I have not seen the document yet. I've asked for that and returned that information to Ms. Wright, the attorney for the Bacons, in our message back to them. So as soon as I receive that, then I'll certainly let your manager know, and we'll proceed accordingly.
All right, thank you.
In my report, I'll continue on with that. You have 2 letters that I've provided you. One was to the building department that said that in the future we will not issue conditional use permits because by state law we're not allowed to even touch it. It's as if it's a residential home. The reason the Bacons received a permit from the state was for 7. It has to do with square footage. It's not that they requested it, because they only have 4. Never anticipated they would have more than 4, and certainly not more than 6. And so the state has agreed to go ahead and reissue for 6. And in the future, they will do that so that it won't wind up as a problem for us. And so in the future, we won't issue anything. Somebody wants to put a group home in there and it's under 6, they just go ahead and do it. If there appears to be more, there's a complaint, then we will go out and do that. But the fire department is contacted when this happens, so we know it. And he goes out to make sure that it's a safe environment, and he would be able to recognize there's more than 6. So there is we do know what's happening.
Vice Mayor Will.
And that's, Mr. Manager, that's because a permit is, when the state issues that permit, we get a copy of it, and then the chief gets it? and
The
therefore
chief gets
it's the-
that,
Okay.
so he.
That's how he's made aware.
He is. So that should take care of that.
That was my same question as to
Yeah.
how were we made aware that was here?
Right. I put stop doing that on the advice of both the regional planning group, which is our planners, and the attorneys, so we just will take it out. They have noted that in the land use plan and are taking that out also. The budget, we didn't present it tonight, mainly because there were so many changes to be made. We needed a little bit more work to be done on that, but it seems like everything is working okay. Actually, I just got back the letter for the 33 homeowners that need to be connected that are within 200 feet. And so those will go out in the next week or so. And we'll send that. I'm sure you will get calls. I am pushing our Rural Development Agency to give me a letter to proceed on the pavilion. We have an account, money's going into it, but till I get an actual letter that says you can proceed, and they need to look at it from their attorney, not their attorney, their architect and their engineer are reviewing our plans and specs. So that should happen pretty soon. But it is the federal government, so one have to take that into account. Ms. Weller and myself will be traveling to Tallahassee to talk to the approving authority on rails to trails. There seems to be a small problem with with an area that is polluted, and so we need to talk to them. The actual owners of the property would turn out to be DEP, but DOT is doing the job. So we'll try to push and get that moving forward. And I have a meeting with Mr. Fox next week, and we want to make sure that the grants are progressing well and don't fall through. Because this is at the stage that you have to have all your paperwork in. We just want to make sure that's happening. And we're going out for bids in the next week on the effluent drying system. And actually Hawthorne has that. So and we've looked at theirs, and it is very efficient. And now that Gainesville utility is increasing the prices to help pay for their bio plant, we would like not to participate in that, so we're going to dry it as fast as we can. And
You said you're going out to bid on that? Is what you said?
yeah, we're going out for bid on that. It's actually not the box itself, because we have other cities we're going to satellite that on. It is actually the plumbing and construction.
I think you said it last meeting or something, Mr. Booth. The money will be spent this budget year,
Yeah,
though?
this budget year. That's
It
why
will be
I'm getting
spent.
it done, so I don't have to carry it over. And then we've already talked about group homes, and so we're moving. This year the budget is fairly easy to do, because we're still very austere, but we're getting better, and it's going to be easier and easier as we go through. You will get a budget amendment sometime towards the end of August, at what time, rather than rolling the money over, because we have 6 months worth of money we put in reserve, we're looking at paying off the police cars, buying another police car, doing a few things that we had budgeted for next year. So it's good.
Couple things. One to the manager. I think I saw something from Mr. Fox that we didn't get the grants for was it for the recreation that we were looking to get?
It was for the recreation.
So what?
Yeah.
So what do
We
we do now?
We just turn around and resubmit that.
Okay. And for the city
It's
of
just the Senate didn't, or the legislature didn't put enough money into it. The difference is a CDB grant, actually, it's federal money. And so it doesn't have anything to do with the legislature taking money out or putting it in.
Okay. And then the other two questions I have really is for our city attorney. That we're getting ready to go into our new fiscal year, and we don't have a contract yet with the city attorney, and that I'm aware of, a signed contract. So will we have a contract ready to go for the new year?
My thought is that our existing contract just rolls over until you know,
We don't have one.
We don't have one.
But
We never got one.
my understanding of our bargain is that the letter that I originally sent to you, that you all approved, is basically our contract. But I can certainly prepare a contract too. I have no problem with that. If you'd like me to do that, that's certainly something we
I
can do.
think that's something that we've had sitting out there on our board that has to be done, and it either has to be taken care of, or one way or the other, you know, whether a letter is sufficient or whether,
Sure.
you know, so I mean, I think that would be something that we would want to have done. And then the other thing is, where are we, that's been sitting out there for a long time, maybe it's been done, I just don't know, the contract or that we were going to, I think we're gonna have a contract with the garden club. Remember there was the issue with the garden club in the Boy Scouts and the water and all of that?
It became less of an issue, so I think I just didn't do anything.
But do we have something in the record as to how we're handling that then?
I'll look into that and then report back by next meeting on that.
I think what occurred is because the Rotary Club is supporting the Boy Scouts, is that correct? One of those organizations said that they're willing just to pay for it, so.
Right. But I guess in the past, we've had a contract, and so the question is, do we need a contract? And if we do, then we need to get it drawn up.
Only if there's money involved, and.
I think there was two separate issues. There was the issue with the utility
The water bill, right?
and then an issue with the lease that has expired.
Okay, yeah, we can do the lease.
That's all. Well, that's all I have to do.
Anything else, Mr. Manager?
That's it.
Mr. Attorney, that's all you have?
That's all I had.
Okay. Mr. Jameson?
No, he answered some of the questions that I was gonna ask, the dry thing, the drying and so forth, so.
Mr. Gassion?
Thank you. You were speaking about contracts also. There needs to be one for the auditors.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. The auditors, we need to review that. You put that on.
And I believe with the grant monies necessary for the playgrounds areas, that climbing arrangement's still open at the top.
It is, I will go through that because,
safety.
we've been holding off, but now we'll turn around and put some money in and
That
fix
needs to be
those things.
fixed.
I agree.
Yeah. It's dangerous.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
I only have one thing, and that is to remind people of the upcoming Music in the Park, and also this Friday, which is Fantastic Friday, for our businesses to be open and for people to come out and have a good time and visit the businesses, and there's going to be some things out there for the children, and so I'd like to, hopefully we can pass that word along and get some people out there. That's all I have.
Okay. I see some letter from the property appraiser here, Mr. Manager. Final tax value for the city.
Oh, yeah, I'll put that out. That came in, actually, that was above what we anticipated. So, still would like to keep the taxes the same. But it shows that our values are even increasing over and above what we anticipated. So that's a good thing. We're one of the few cities that's actually happening to.
Okay. I also see something about a bullet tube vest that saved the police officer life here.
On Monday, Antoine and I went to the county, and we obtained about a $10,000 grant to put in all new vests for our officers, and that certainly helps his budget and helps the city, and it's out there.
Fantastic.
So this is the type vest y'all going to purchase this one?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
That's great. I commend you guys for putting your life on the line.
There was another vest that they had shown, but It's more like the vest we wore in combat with the plates. I think the whole thing weighs about 50 pounds.
Yes, don't remind me.
Huge, but it's for the SWAT team. And yeah, you'd be dragging after a day wearing that.
Yes. Okay, as she said, Fantastic Friday will be this weekend. Also, the museum will be open from 6 to 9. And also, I think they got Huckleberry Finn. That's going to be up and down
Yeah.
Main Street. So
Okay.
if you're not doing anything this Friday, please come on out.
Right. Music in the park's at 2?
2 to 4.
2 to 4, yes.
Is that
Isn't it?
Price
Next,
is Right.
the third one, right? It's just
the
the
11th.
Yeah.
I think they told me the 11th.
And actually, next year.
Oh, that's
we'll do-
right, because of the 4th, they're doing the 4th of July thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we put more money in the budget for music in the park,
Right.
so that'll increase
The advertising.
advertising and better music.
Yes. Okay.
They haven't asked me to sing yet, but I'm waiting.
Maybe me and you can go out and
We can-
we
that's
can go
right.
out and sing the mayor and the manager.
Drum, yeah, we can.
You do a
drum.
solo and I do a solo.
Yeah, that'll.
Yeah, I say a solo
Solo, yeah, real.
that you can't hear me.
Well, I'm trying to, with Barry White, I'm trying to.
All right, if there's nothing else to come before this commissioner, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So,
Before 7:30, oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Our best.
and Courtney's not here to see that this gets.
I know, yeah, Courtney.
When we go to the time, we're gonna blame it on her.
That's right, that's exactly right.
If you're on a cruise, you don't have to visit.
That's exactly right. You gotta learn that lesson.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's the way.